out. I want to say to that person, can't you get someone who's competent to help me?
I'm dealing with the wanker.
There we are. So please remember, when you go and see people, you can be confident. The wonderful thing for them is they don't know what we know around this table. Even if you stuff up your presentation, they won't even know it. They've never seen this before. They don't know what to expect. You can really be confident. Even if you're bad, you'll sell some deals.
Confidence will sell you.
Of course. So just go in there and relax and do your thing.
I got another question.
Yes.
So if you get a referral, they're obviously going to receive the exact same pitch. How do you alter it a little bit or something so that they feel
You
like
don't.
it's not?
No.
Okay, so you just give them the exact same pitch. They know it
Of
gets to the
course.
same answers.
If you're making money baking beautiful, wonderful cakes, and someone says, this person's cakes are great, another person comes and says, I also want a cake, are you going to change the recipe so that they have a different taste than the oaks who...
No, of course not.
No.
Okay.
I'll ramble on about that. I'll tell you how I've made a lot of deals. I'll give you two scenarios that's happened to me. The most sales that I've ever made in a single week,
It's 13.
13 deals that I banked where the people paid. And I did 14 presentations.
Whoa.
That's good.
Monday to Thursday, 4 working days. I did all those presentations at Western Deep Levels. It's a mine here by Carltonville side. It was an Anglo-American mine when I did those presentations. And how I did 14 presentations for the week is my appointments were booked with the rock engineering department. And they had 14 engineers. So I started there on Monday. The wonderful thing is by Wednesday, all the oaks who've already bought for me, they were pitching these oaks in the canteen, the lunchtime. By the time I got there, people knew. My presentation flowed nicely because they knew what to expect. I didn't change my pitch. I didn't do anything different. It's like when you are baking a cake. If there's a recipe that works, why would you change anything? Maybe Dean's still going to ask that question, so I'm going to preempt him. I do the same presentation for a chartered accountant and the very same presentation for a taxi driver and the very same presentation for a teacher or for
Yes.
an engineer. This is stock standard what I do. So did I mention, now I can't remember because I didn't write it down, did I mention that discipline is a good quality?
Yes.
Do you know what you should have discipline with? Just doing the same thing perfectly over and over again.
As long as it's working.
Exactly. How you can really screw it up is when you're one of those people, you start with us, you sell a lot of deals, and then you become lazy. And you start leaving things out of the presentation because you think the client should, to you it's now old hat, and you start thinking everyone else should also know and understand it. And then what's going to happen is suddenly you take a knock in sales, and you start wondering, why am I not selling? You're not realizing that you're not following the recipe perfect. Then you start doing your own shit because suddenly you think, oh, let me make some adjustments to try and close the deal. And then eventually when I get to you and say, geez, last month you did 20 deals and this month you're on 2, pitch to me, you are so far away from the recipe and the beaten path. Those people, 90% of them can't get back onto track and they crash and burn out of this industry. Just because you don't have the discipline to follow the recipe that I have taught you to follow. Other questions from you? These are the kind of questions I want from you, because that shows that Dean is going out there every day, he's pitching, he's getting experience. So let me just tell you what's the wonderful news for him. Are you ready? Doing this is not easy, like many other things in life. It is easy for people to give up. Turn up one day, oh, I've done 7 presentations, not worked that great, let me just give up. Often, that's the worst time that you could do it. I want to just make another statement on this recording for you to listen to know really. Every person who has achieved anything of significance didn't just do so through luck or some godly intervention. Any person who makes a success at something has put in time, effort, energy, learned, made mistakes, screw-ups, corrections.
They say the CEOs failed more times than the sales consultants succeeded.
There you are. So can I ramble on about that? We all make mistakes every day of our life. I make mistakes. You make mistakes. We can all do certain things better, blah, blah, blah. So you've got to have... You've got to take it in your stride. You've got to roll with the punches if you want to be successful. People who fail are people who take a punch and then they can't handle the punch and they just give up. Successful people roll with the challenges that come along. They face the challenges. Okay. And they deal with it. Does that make sense?
Correct.
So please, my wish for you guys is for you to learn, to take this in, to understand it, to go and practice. I was very proud of a guy called Donnie Oosthuizen who came from our Cape Town office. He was here on Monday. He sat in on the sales training. We made the video, uploaded it. That night, he phoned me, I don't want to lie to you, I think 7 times, to clarify questions that he had. He was watching the video on YouTube, rewinding it, forwarding it, say, listen, I can't remember this part, I'm not totally sure, what should I say, this, etc., etc. And then later that evening, he sent me some WhatsApps with photographs that he took of his worksheets, the notes he made. Man, this oak was like back at school. He had highlighters, it was different colors. I think I can show you on my phone. That's what we want. So I'll close off by rambling off about me. I mean, look at this. I'm going to send it around. Now, I can feel confident that he put in the work, because if you're doing all that shit just to impress me or send me some hocus pocus stuff, really, I feel confident with what you see there, that he's put in the work.
And then the training is worth it.
And then the training is worth it. The biggest frustration for me is I can sit here and I can train you, but I can't force you to do anything. I can't force you to watch this video tonight. I can't force you to practice. I can't force you to have some intelligence. I can't force you to apply it. I'm not there when you're pitching to someone to say, but hang on, you're not following the recipe.
On YouTube.
Only you can do that.
That's correct.
So your success, what I want to do is I want my slate to be clean. I want to say, I've given you sales training, I've answered your questions, I've helped you, like a pastor does.
Sir?
Yeah, please don't call me sir. I mean, isn't that nice?
Yeah. It's good.
That's what make me proud of what we do. Any last questions before we close off? Let me ask Wesley, questions from my side before. What did you learn today?
Well, besides the punctuation of the R, structuring it, being very select on the choice of words, because unknowingly, or not knowingly, I was literally benching myself out of the deal at the very last part of the match.
Yes.
I was sidelining myself by literally defunking everything I've built up on.
Okay.
Added to that, what was standing out to me is, out of everything, and when we say options, a very important human behavior psyche, you only gave them 2 choices. The general person cannot process beyond 2 choices.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the best thing is I gave them the option of yes or yes. Okay, I'm going to end the recording so that I can say things that I don't want to go onto YouTube.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.